Hey, what is up y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Build With Me. In today's episode, we're going to be doing a request by Shying69, which is a request to build a secret underground club or a type of speakeasy. In this case, I decided to go more for the speakeasy aspect of things and went for the underground bars that people went to during the, what was it called? It was the Prohibition Act in the United States from January 17th of 1920 to December 5th of 1933. This is when alcohol was banned as a whole for people to sell, buy, or even drink, I think. And this basically caused people to be in a panic and decide to go ahead and do illegal trading by getting it into the United States and then selling in underground bars that the local authorities did not know about and, I guess, allow people to get alcohol. In this case, I decided to go ahead and build a bunch of secret buildings behind alleyways such as this one right here, which is behind the arcade and the apartment buildings. I found that this build was really fun to do because of how I got to play around with really tight spaces. Building in really tight spaces like this allows me to, I guess, try figuring out different ways to make things work. In this case, he was trying to make a sensible, I guess, area that people could drink in, while also being in a fashion that allowed as many people as possible to fit in that space. I also got to play around with certain things like these couches where I embedded the wool into the wall to allow for a, I guess, like seat cushion, like for the backrest or whatnot. I also got to try out some other techniques such as putting in an indent in the wall to allow for an area for the bartender to hold his drinks. Or, whatever, you know. Let's see, I also threw a bunch of paintings on the wall to make it a little aesthetic, because who doesn't like an aesthetic area to drink in, I guess? Because why not? And of course I had to call this place Moss Alley because of the vines that I put along the walls. And now that that's done, we get to start working on our second speakeasy of this episode. It's also the last one, but that's not the point. I also decided to go ahead and build one that was kind of abandoned, not in use anymore. This one was kind of rough. I don't normally build abandoned or ruined things because I struggle with it. It's a big change in mentality. You have to find a way, you have to build the entirety of a build, or at least understand what you're building, and then you have to find a way to make it look destroyed and not like it's just unfinished. That's the big problem here. In this case, I decided to build the entirety of this thing and then destroy it. That way I knew exactly what I was building and how I could make it look dingy. Or whatever. I don't even know if that's the right pronunciation. Maybe it's dingy? I don't know. I don't use that word very often. This one's a bit of a fancier speakeasy because of the chandelier. Maybe this is for rich people. Especially since it's directly underneath a fancy restaurant. Yeah, maybe. And more paintings because aesthetics. And why not? Here's a door. Because we need doors, I guess. Yeah, some cobwebs to make it look a little interesting, and some holes in the floor to show that maybe the floor is worn over. And I even knocked down some of the chairs. I believe eventually I start putting in some water to make it look a little moldy or something. I don't know. Even some of the paintings have fallen off. Here I'm testing out placing some water in the ceiling to try getting it to drip water. Didn't work very well, so I gave up on that idea. And I'm putting in some hanging roots, more holes, more water, and yeah. Threw in some glass panes inside of the glass to make it look like it's broken. And I believe this is the end of the time lapse, right about now. Anyways, let's get a good look at what our speakeasy looks like as we're walking down the road. As we're walking down the road, as we can see, we don't exactly have a very good sense of where it could be. We can't see it as clearly until we go through here, and we can see these banners, which are like a cloths that we have to pass through. And then we have this walled off area here, which leads to the alleyway here, or the stairway down into the speakeasy. I really like this area. It feels nice and cozy, and it has that nice aesthetic to it, which is busy, but kind of not busy at the same time. I also like this area out here because, oh, let me just change it to night real quick to see what it looks like at night. That doesn't seem dark enough. Let me make it midnight real quick. There we go. But yeah, the aesthetic here is nice. We do have a bit of an issue with the fact that this area is much brighter than the rest, but I think it's fine. It's probably just because of the arcade having the extra lights along the walls, but it's fine. It helps reduce mob spawns, which is nice. But yeah, the aesthetic of this area is beautiful. I love it. But yeah, let's hop back in here real quick and look at everything. So there's to my left are the couches that I was talking about. Over here is the bar. Yeah, here's a nice little bar. We got some wall seating, table seating. I don't know. Some area to hold some alcohol, I guess. More out here. We got some vines. I don't know. I say reduce mob spawns, but there's still a zombie right out here. Okay. I also like the fact that I was able. Oh, that's a phantom. I also like the fact that I was able to add those vines along the side of the building right over there. And yeah, let's go over to my second speakeasy, which is over here. Let's see how the ruined one looks in comparison. So this is not as detailed as the last one because the door is just kind of there. And here's the ruined look. We have a fallen chair over here. They've like tipped over. This is one of my favorite techniques to use when building chairs and whatnot. Especially when I'm trying to ruin them, because it just kind of looks like it's right. I do like the holes that I added in here. It was kind of nice. Yeah, but besides that, I don't think there's really much else I can really say about this. So, thank you all for watching the episode. If you liked it, hit the like button. Helps me out greatly, and it's free to do. Helps me know that you all want more content just like this, so I can keep doing it. And by hitting the subscribe button, same thing happens. Helps me know that y'all want to follow me on my journey and see what I have to build next. And of course, if you want to be notified of exactly when I post my episodes, hit that little bell. You'll see exactly when I post them, so you can be one of the first people to watch them. Anyways, thank you for watching my episodes. And, oh, those are my toes. Have a good one.